There comes a moment when everything stops. No cheering, no music, no help, just you, your breath, your heartbeat. That single instant when you realize it's all on you. No one's coming, no one's saving you, no one's doing the work for you. That's the moment every legend is born. That's the moment when you either do or die. You can talk all day about what you want, what you dream, what you think you deserve. But life doesn't listen to words. It listens to action. It listens to pain. It listens to the sound of your heartbeat when you keep moving forward after everyone else has stopped. You say you want success? Then prove it. Because in the real world, success doesn't knock. It kicks down the door only for those who refuse to quit. Every human being reaches a line, the invisible line between ordinary and extraordinary. Most people stop there. They look at that line and whisper, "It's too hard." But not you. You step over it. You burn the bridge behind you because you're not coming back. You don't need permission. You don't need applause. You only need one thing: resolve. The decision that no matter what, you will finish what you started. Resolve means you will wake up before dawn while the world still sleeps. You will bleed, sweat, cry, and still keep moving. You will stare fear in the eye and say, "Not today." You will keep pushing when your body screams stop. Because until you win, the fight is not over. Try, fail, rise, repeat, until. That's the code of warriors. That's the heartbeat of champions. When the world says, "No," you don't fold, you smile. Because rejection is the fuel that feeds your fire. Every "no" is a spark that lights another step forward. They'll call you crazy, obsessed, unrealistic, let them. Because every genius was once the lunatic who refused to quit. They laughed at the Wright brothers until the first flight cut through the sky. They doubted Edison until the light bulb burned through the darkness. They'll doubt you, too, until your light blinds them. You see, pain is the price of greatness. It's the tax you pay for ambition. There will come a night when your muscles tremble, your lungs burn, your vision blurs. And you'll hear that small voice whisper, "Stop." That's the test. That's the gate every champion must pass. Because pain isn't the end, it's the beginning. It's the signal that you're close, that you're transforming. When you feel pain, you know you're alive. And if you're alive, you fight. The weak look for comfort. The strong look for challenge. Comfort is the enemy. It kills potential one soft pillow at a time. You weren't born for comfort, you were built for conquest. Every scar is proof that you kept going. Every setback is a lesson carved into your soul. While others run from the storm, you are the storm. You don't wait for motivation, you create it. You don't pray for opportunities, you build them. Because opportunity bows only to the relentless. The world moves aside for the person who knows exactly where they're going. And you, my friend, are not wandering. You are marching, step after step, breath after breath, inch by inch, climbing out of hell. 1 inch is all it takes. That inch separates winners from the rest. When the night feels endless and the light seems gone, remember this. Resolve isn't about strength, it's about refusal. Refusal to back down, refusal to surrender, refusal to believe the world when it says, "You can't." Because you can, because you must, because there's no other option. Do or die means you delete, plan B. It means you burn the ships so there's no retreat. It means your back is against the wall and the only way out is forward. You fight, you crawl, you grind, you bleed, forward. You don't have to be the fastest, the smartest, the strongest. You just have to be the last one standing. Every time you think you've given everything, there's more left inside you. A deeper layer of willpower waiting to be unlocked. You find it only when you're broken. You find it when the tank is empty and somehow you still take another step. That's where greatness hides, in the dark corners where most people quit. You want success? Then prepare to suffer for it. Because success doesn't come from luck, it comes from obsession. It comes from the nights you stay awake perfecting the smallest detail. It comes from the mornings you drag yourself out of bed when no one would blame you for sleeping in. It comes from the sacrifices no one sees and the battles no one claps for. That's the difference. That's the price. And you're willing to pay every cent. So when the crowd disappears and the noise fades, remember who you are. You are the one who kept going. You are the one who didn't flinch. You are the one who refused to die with your dreams still inside you. The world owes you nothing. But if you give everything, the world will have no choice but to notice. Because in the end, it's simple. You either do or you die. There's no middle ground. There's no someday. There's no maybe. There's only now. You say you want it. But how bad do you really want it? Because talk is cheap, and dreams are even cheaper. Every single person wants to win until it's time to do what winners do. They love the vision, they hate the grind. They love the spotlight, they hate the shadows. But you live in the shadows. You train in silence so the noise of your victory will speak for you later. Resolve. That's what separates the committed from the curious. Resolve doesn't whisper, it roars. It doesn't make excuses, it makes results. When you say, do or die, you're promising yourself you will never give up. You're telling the universe, I am not here to try, I am here to conquer. You keep swinging until your hands bleed. You keep running until your lungs catch fire. You keep learning until knowledge bends to your will. You don't stop when it hurts, you stop when it's done. That's resolve. That's the difference between almost and always. The average person quits after failure. You take failure, crush it into dust, and use it as chalk for your hands before the next climb. The mind will always search for an exit when things get hard. Close every exit. When there is no way out, there's only the way forward. That's where greatness begins, when comfort is dead and only purpose remains alive. Every time you say, I'll try, you build a wall between yourself and victory. Erase the word, try. Replace it with, will. I will win. I will fight. I will conquer. Because trying is a wish. Doing is a weapon. The world won't hand you anything. No one is coming to crown you. The throne is taken by those who fight for it. Every day, every night, every breath, you declare war on mediocrity. This is not motivation, this is survival. It's the law of the jungle. Hunt or be hunted, do or die. And when the world says, no, smile. Because no means next opportunity. Rejection is redirection. Failure is feedback. You've got to understand, the universe tests those it wants to crown. It doesn't give diamonds. It gives coal and waits to see who has the fire to burn. They'll tell you it's impossible. They'll tell you it's too late, too hard, too risky. But remember, their limits are not your limits. Their fear is not your destiny. You've got a different engine inside you, one that doesn't shut off when the lights go out. You are built from struggle, wired with discipline, fueled by obsession. Every insult, every doubt, every laugh behind your back, let it feed you. Turn their mockery into motivation. Turn their doubt into dominance. Because the day will come when the same mouths that said you couldn't will whisper, how did they do it? And you will smile, because you know the answer. You didn't quit. When people walk away, keep walking. When doors close, break them. When silence surrounds you, use it. Silence is your forge, it hardens your focus. While they sleep, you sharpen. While they gossip, you grind. While they rest, you rise. This is the moment most people give up. This is where they decide, maybe it's not for me. This is where you prove that it is. The edge of exhaustion, the wall of failure, the endless noise of doubt, that's your proving ground. If you can stand there, if you can look that storm in the eye and take one more step, you become unstoppable. You see, the world respects consistency. Not one day of greatness, every day of discipline. Champions aren't built in sudden explosions, they're built in endless repetition. Each rep, each hour, each sacrifice is another brick in your empire. And you're not here to build a house. You're here to build a legacy. People will ask, why don't you take a break? Because you know that rest is earned, not given. They will say, you change. You'll answer, I had to. Growth demands change. Victory demands evolution. If you stayed the same, you'd still be standing where they left you. When the world says, no, you roar back, watch me. Because every giant who ever lived heard, no, 8,000 times before the first, yes. They didn't wait for permission. They didn't wait for support. They acted. They believed. They endured. And eventually, the world moved aside. The world always moves aside for the one who knows where they're going. So keep moving. You might be crawling, you might be limping, but you are moving. And that motion is your power. That forward pressure is your proof that the fire inside is greater than the storm outside. That's how you win. Not by avoiding the pain, but by outlasting it. You think legends are born lucky? They're born like everyone else, scared, uncertain, broke, ignored. But somewhere along the way, they made a decision. They looked in the mirror and said, I'm not leaving this world empty-handed. They made it personal. And once it's personal, it's unstoppable. There's a place very few ever reach. It's not on a map. It's inside you. It's the pain zone, that silent battlefield where your body begs for mercy, and your mind decides whether you'll be remembered or forgotten. Most people run from that place. You were born to live there. You know the feeling: lungs on fire, muscles screaming, vision narrowing. Your heartbeat is a war drum in your chest. Every step feels like it might be your last. And then something shifts. Somewhere inside the noise, you find another gear. That's the moment that separates the talkers from the warriors. Pain is not your enemy, it's your invitation. It's the gatekeeper of greatness. If you can walk through pain without losing your purpose, nothing on this planet can stop you. You don't curse the pain, you thank it. Because every drop of sweat is carving a new version of you. Pain is the proof you're growing. It's the currency of progress, and you're paying in full. Most people quit the second it hurts. They think struggle means stop. But struggle means stretch. When your body says you're done, your soul whispers, not yet. That whisper is the sound of evolution. It's the voice that made legends crawl when others collapsed. It's the same voice that will carry you through every storm you'll ever face. You got to train your mind to love that fire. Love the burn. Love the grind. Because the day you start loving the fight more than the finish line, that's the day you become unstoppable. Every punch, every step, every sleepless night is another declaration that you will not die where you stand. You will finish. When you hit the wall, don't back away, break it. Every wall was built by someone who quit before you. You owe it to yourself to prove that it can fall. There's always another inch left in you. That inch might not look like much, but that inch changes everything. One more breath. One more representative. One more call. That's the difference between almost made it and made it. And when you think you can't go any further, remember this: you've been here before. Every challenge you ever survived was a rehearsal for this moment. You didn't come this far to only come this far. The blood, the sweat, the tears, they're receipts. You've already paid for this victory. Now collect it. But the hardest battle isn't out there. It's in here, in your mind. That's the real enemy. Fear, doubt, comfort. They live rent-free inside your head, whispering stories about why you can't, why you shouldn't, why it's safer to stay small. You've listened to them for too long. It's time to evict them. Fear tells you to wait. Doubt tells you to stop. Comfort tells you it's enough. But courage tells you to move. And courage doesn't sound loud, it sounds calm. It's that quiet voice saying, keep going. The greatest prison in the world has no walls. It's built from your own hesitation. Every time you hold back, you build another bar. Every time you surrender to fear, you lock another door. And then one day you look around and realize you're trapped in a cell of your own design. But here's the truth. The key has always been in your hands. It's action. Every step you take breaks a chain. Every risk you face smashes another lock. Fear is a liar. It paints pictures of failure that don't exist. It magnifies every mistake and hides every victory. It tells you to stay safe, but safety is where dreams die. You can't chase greatness and comfort at the same time. Choose. Either chase fear or be chased by regret. You want to silence that inner voice? Outwork it. Outlast it. Every time you show up, every time you finish, you teach your fear who's in charge. The mind follows the muscle of consistency. When you move anyway, even shaking, even tired, you rewire your brain for war. The doubts will come back, they always do. They'll whisper, you're not enough. You answer, watch me. They'll say, you can't win. You answer, I already did the moment I refused to quit. You see, victory isn't a trophy. It's a mindset. It's the moment you decide that nothing will own you again. The enemy within will fight dirty. It will remind you of every failure, every weakness, every time you fell short. Don't argue with it, outperform it. Show it evidence. Show it your scars, your persistence, your progress. Because fear can't survive in motion. It feeds on hesitation. Starve it with action. Every breath you take while pushing through pain is a declaration of war against mediocrity. Every second you stay in the fight rewrites your story. You are no longer the person who almost made it. You are the one who did. You are not your failures. You are the fire that survived them. The pain zone breaks the weak and builds the relentless. The enemy within breaks the doubtful and builds the dangerous. And you're dangerous now. Because once you realize pain can't kill you and fear can't control you, there's nothing left to stop you. Nothing. There comes a point when the noise in your head fades and the fire in your chest takes over. The moment you realize, this is it, your turning point. Every failure, every heartbreak, every sleepless night has been leading you here. You are standing on the edge of everything you've ever wanted, and the only thing left between you and destiny is one more push. You fall, you rise, you fall again, and still you rise. That's what makes you dangerous. Because every time life knocks you down, you come back sharper, harder, hungrier. You've learned to breathe through the pain, to smile through the chaos, to fight when the lights go out. You've learned that rock bottom isn't the end, it's the foundation you rebuild on. Rise again. Even if no one's clapping, even if no one believes, even if every step feels like dragging mountains, rise anyway. Because every sunrise deserves a warrior who refused to stay down. The comeback is always louder than the setback, and the only people who ever hear it are the ones who kept moving through the dark. Now comes the code, the hustler's code. While the world sleeps, you grind. While they make excuses, you make progress. While they post, you practice. You've got one rule: outwork everyone. If someone works 8 hours, you work 10. If they give 50%, you give 101. You don't compete to prove them wrong, you compete to prove yourself right. Grind until the doubt in your head changes sides. Grind until failure gets tired of chasing you. Grind until your reflection finally nods and says, "That's who I was meant to be." Every late night, every early morning, every silent sacrifice adds up. The universe keeps score. Discipline always gets paid, always. You are not lucky, you are lethal. You have turned struggle into strategy and pressure into power. People will call it obsession. Let them. Because the obsessed own the future. They don't wait for opportunity. They build it with blistered hands and burning lungs. They don't ask, "When will it happen?" They say, "Watch me make it happen." But somewhere in that grind, something deeper awakens. You begin to realize it was never just about you. It was about the people who believed when no one else did. The ones who sacrificed, who prayed, who waited. You carry their hopes every time you move forward. When you win, they win. When you rise, they rise. This fight stopped being personal the moment you understood your purpose. Purpose is the fuel that never runs out. When money can't move you and fame can't tempt you, purpose keeps you burning. It's bigger than a goal, it's a reason to breathe. And when you live for something larger than yourself, fear loses its power completely. Because you're no longer running toward success, you're running toward legacy. Now or never. That's where you stand. Every breath, every choice, every heartbeat is a vote for who you'll become. Will you back down, or will you burn through every excuse left inside you? The clock is ticking. Time doesn't care how tired you are, how scared you are, or how unfair life has been. Time only cares what you do next. So do it. Do it scared. Do it tired. Do it broke. Do it alone if you must, but do it. Because someday isn't coming, and tomorrow is already late. There is only this heartbeat, this breath, this shot. Do or die. So stand tall. Look life in the eye and say, "You should have finished me when you had the chance." Because now, there's no fear left, no hesitation left, no quit left. Only motion. Only hunger. Only fire. This is your time. Not next year. Not when conditions are perfect. Now. This is the moment you decide who you are. You don't need motivation, you need a mirror. Look at yourself. The battle scars, the tired eyes, the unbroken will, and understand. You are the warrior you were waiting for. So fight one more round. Run one more mile. Take one more step. Because on the other side of that single, stubborn act is everything you've ever wanted. You are already the miracle you've been chasing. You are already the proof that impossible is temporary. You are the living definition of do or die. Now go do it. Not halfway. Not tomorrow. Not when it's easy. Do it now. Do it fully. Do it until there's nothing left to give, and then give more. Because the world has a strange way of stepping aside for the one who says, "I will do it, or die trying."